So allegedly, Cassie has turned over evidence to the feds. Yes, to the feds. She has turned over videotapes, a USB drive, and Kim burner phone.
Told that after Cassie had a long conversation with Blank, I have to protect this person. They're going through a lot right now. And her lawyers, she finally was convinced to give up the videotapes and audio recordings that contain footage of S parties and other private gatherings that feature some pretty powerful and prominent people. And get this, she even gave up a burner phone and USBs that belonged to Kim Porter with incriminating evidence against Diddy.
Okay, y'all. So Diddy might need to start getting his house in order because the streets are saying that the FBI is after him and he's about to get a one-way ticket to jail. And it's all thanks to Cassie. According to the reports, some fresh allegations against him are allegedly worse than we could ever think. This time, he's not going to be able to pay his way out of these, like the civil lawsuits. Now, if you guys thought that the situation was bad before, ooh, y'all better get ready because things are about to hit the fan.
See, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us. And I know Kim had some very good advice to give you. And I believe that this is why things are happening as they're happening now. Kim was smart, wasn't she, Cassie? Kept you alive and kept you safe.
Now, y'all, I swear things are going from bad to worse for Diddy. And every time we think that things couldn't get possibly worse for him, the universe does. Things go into overdrives and the case get even harder and things get worse. Diddy hasn't had a full week of peace since Cassie's lawsuit came out because it's been going from one drama to the next. And something really just keeps coming up every day that just makes him look really, really bad. In Cassie's lawsuit, she claimed that Diddy had allegedly put hands on her, SA'd her, forced her to use drugs, and pimped her out to male escorts for his own enjoyment, and a whole other list of things that he did to her. The lawsuit started off by revealing that he SA'd Miss Ventura in her own home after she tried to leave them, often punched, kicked, and stumped on Miss Ventura, resulting in burst lips, black eyes, and forced Miss Ventura to engage in intimate acts with male SWs while getting off on it and filming the encounters. Demanded that Miss Ventura to carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he is, and introduced Miss Ventura to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse and required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions. She also gave several instances of times he put hands on her, like the time she and Diddy went to a club and Cassie started a conversation with the music manager in the club. And it wasn't like she was trying to sign with this other man, but Diddy got so mad that when they left the club, Mr. Combs Miss Ventura, pushing her into a corner of the vehicle, stumping on her face. When the car arrived at Mr. Combs' residence, Miss Ventura attempted to run away, but Mr. Combs followed her and proceeded to again kick her in the face. Miss Ventura was profusely and was ushered into Mr. Combs' home, where she began to throw up from the incident. These beatings often left her with bruises, and he was so desperate to hide this that he did all he could to hide it. The court documents said over the next decade, multiple times each year, Mr. Combs would violently beat Miss Ventura, leaving bruises on her body. After every instance in which he beat Miss Ventura, Mr. Combs used this money and power to orchestrate extensive efforts to hide the evidence of his abuse, including by hiding Miss Ventura in hotels for days at a time to let her bruises heal. Oh, and let's not even get into the reports of how he allegedly used to SA and pimp her out. In the lawsuit, Cassie wrote, the first time Mr. Combs hired a man and brought the man to his home in Los Angeles, the man, Mr. Combs, and Miss Ventura wore masquerade masks and ingested drugs. Mr. Combs directed Miss Ventura to perform intimate acts with this man, while Mr. Combs watched them. The entire encounter lasted multiple days. Mr. Combs began to call the arrangement a freak-off, or FO. Now, apart from things that he did to her, she also talked about how he tried to take out his enemies. Like the time he got his people to pull up on Suge Knight when he heard that Suge was in the vicinity. The document said, for example, on one occasion when Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura were using together in his home, one of his security staff barged in and announced that Suge Knight, a longtime rival of Mr. Combs, was spotted at Mel's Drive-In Diner in Los Angeles. Mr. Combs began to get dressed, retrieved multiple guns from a safe, and ran out of his home to where he believed Mr. Knight was dining. At first, Diddy denied these allegations, telling the usual story of how Cassie was after money and all of that. His lawyer released a statement saying he vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. Miss Ventura's demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about her relationship was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. Well, he ended up settling that lawsuit with Cassie in less than a day, and he probably thought that it was going to kill the case and that we'd all move on after a couple of days. But the internet was like, psych! And he ended up playing himself even more because people started to come forward to expose Diddy for SAing them too. 3 more people came out to file lawsuits against him, making 4 in total. And then one interesting thing about all the 4 women was that they all had the same story of how Diddy allegedly either got them drunk or high on drugs, then he allegedly SA'd them. But that's not all, because Diddy's longtime op Suge Knight also came out to admit that not only were there allegations against him probably true, but Diddy also had put hands on a lot more people, like his assistant at the time, Capricorn. Well, according to Suge Knight, Capricorn had found out that Cassie had started dating rapper Kid Cudi after she broke up with Diddy. Capricorn didn't tell Cassie's secret because she knew what Diddy would do to Cassie. She was trying to protect her.
It's not like it's new news. Same time he beat the out of mother, what's a little girl named Cassie or whatever. He had an assistant by the name of Capricorn. He felt Cap was keeping his low about if she was messing with Cudi or not. Puffy beat the out that.
Now, if you're wondering why Capricorn will cover for Cassie and risk her own safety, it's because Capricorn is Lauren London's sister. Lauren and Cassie used to be friends back in the day, and I guess Capricorn was just trying to look out for her sister's friend, but it blew up big time in her face. Now, Suge was not capping because after Cassie filed her lawsuit, Capricorn shaded Diddy, saying, "Don't take the path of the wicked. Don't follow those who do evil. Stay away from the path. Don't even go near it. Turn around and go another way." Proverbs 4:14, doors be unlocked. You got to be willing to walk away from the money, full stop. 2011 was hell. She exposed the industry for enabling Diddy's terrible behavior and covering up for him while watching him hurt women and the people around him. She said, "Black women end up being the sacrifice for the effery. Last 11 years of my life, I had to deal with everyone's nonsensical allegiance to the devil. I pray that ends. I don't think highly of any of you. Can't keep your head down and pretend ish is cool no more. Do better." Well, she then hinted that he had taken out Kim Porter because Kim was against his way of life. She shared a quote that Kim had said to her saying, "They will skin you and wear you, baby girl, then pretend they never wanted to skin." Kim was the only person who didn't switch up. The only one. Dark times. I'm personally very triggered and I pray it's over. I never deserved this. Hashtag Kim Porter. Now, Capricorn left Bad Boy after that, but he didn't know about the beating until now. Now, at the time, Diddy claimed that she had been fired because she stole from him, and this pretty much destroyed her entire career because nobody hired her as an assistant after that. Can you even imagine what it's like to be beat up by your boss and then him ruining your career after that? Allegedly. Well,
we are always going to be connected, and you'll always be my best friend.
Suge also exposed Interscope Records for paying Capricorn off so Diddy wouldn't go to jail.
It was an Interscope person, the Interscope check that paid her to settle or he wouldn't go to jail.
Y'all, the accusations kept going from bad to worse and worse. And Diddy finally came out to deny these allegations, telling people to stop coming for him because he was innocent. He broke his silence and released a statement that said, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watch people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." But again, this only made things worse because it had more people coming for him. And this time, those people are allegedly the FBI. A couple of days ago, a blind item came out that claimed that the FBI had allegedly opened up an investigation into Diddy. And it all was thanks to Cassie because she handed over some incriminating evidence on Diddy to the FBI. Now, y'all, this was very interesting because after Cassie dropped her lawsuit bomb, Jaguar stepped into the ring with an interesting statement. According to her, Cassie had a secret meeting with Kim Porter just days before Kim's passing. Jaguar spilled the tea, claiming that Kim gave Cassie some incriminating information about Diddy during that secret meeting. Allegedly, Cassie weaponized this information and used it to break free from Diddy's control.
See, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us. And I know Kim had some very good advice to give you. And I believe that this is why things are happening as they're happening now. Kim was smart, wasn't she, Cassie? Kept you alive and kept you safe. Congratulations on surviving and congratulations on standing up.
Now, the blind item also claimed that Cassie allegedly took this classified info and handed it over to the FBI. It has to have been something really bad because the FBI has taken an interest in the case allegedly. They're allegedly investigating Diddy.
Okay, so allegedly, Cassie has turned over evidence to the feds. Yes, to the feds. She has turned over videotapes, a USB drive, and Kim Porter's burner phone.
She finally was convinced to give up the videotapes and audio recordings that contain footage of S parties and other private gatherings that feature some pretty powerful and prominent people. And get this, she even gave up a burner phone and USBs that belonged to Kim Porter with incriminating evidence against Diddy. I'm told that there are a slew of artists, politicians, and entertainers that are about to be exposed and arrested for H10. I'm paraphrasing there, okay? H10.
Now, I know some of y'all might be thinking that Kim Porter would never have given that information to Cassie and blah, blah, blah. But think about it. Cassie had first-hand knowledge of the things that Kim had also gone through with Diddy. Plus, if Diddy got suspicious, he wouldn't think of Cassie as being a potentially safe space for Kim. But as it turns out, this isn't the first time that Diddy has been investigated by the feds, because back in 2013, reports have it that he was allegedly being investigated by the cops for having an improper relationship with young boys. According to reports, during a debriefing session with the federal investigators, James Roseman, the music manager turned cocaine kingpin, was reportedly questioned about the sexual preferences of entertainers, including whether Sean Diddy Combs was having intimate relationships with underage boys. According to a U.S. District Court filing, a prosecutor then asked about the entertainer's intimate preferences, including, but not only, Sean Combs having intimate relationships with underage boys. Yeah, there's a whole lot to unpack here, and fans, of course, have been leaving all types of comments saying stuff like, "Thank God Cassie stood up and spoke out. She stated that on many occasions she left, but his goons and contacts found her. She returned." You cannot rhyme or reason with a narcissist like him. I can only imagine the fear she lives with. She should have hit him for quadruple what she got. There are other comments saying all of these people who have cooperated with the feds before they came out with any allegations, so the feds could actually surprise this man with a house search. By the time they could get anything, it will all be destroyed except for what Kim P said, and whatever is usable from Cassie's own recordings has been left. Think about all the evidence he must have destroyed by now. And the rich, powerful are protecting Diddy, because once he goes down, he'll sing like a dang canary. All of these predators are about to get exposed, and I'm here for all of it. Protect the children. Y'all, this drama is definitely giving what it's supposed to hit gave. So I need y'all to let me know what y'all thoughts are. And then check out this next video.
Recordings just got better.